In the next 8 minutes, I'll be going over 50 essential Korean words that you need to know. 안녕하세요. This is the basic hello. You use this with strangers or anybody because it's a really polite and just basic way to say hi. So no one's gonna get offended if you say 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. This is the basic thank you. So let's say like you're at the store and you bought something and that person gives it to you. You can just say oh 감사합니다 just to thank them. 정말요. This is the textbook way to say you're welcome, but it's not really used that often in Korea. Usually 아니에요 is used, which means oh it's nothing. But 정말요 is still good to know. It's used in more formal situations. 잠시만요. This means excuse me or one moment. And you can use this when you're trying to get someone's attention. Oh, 잠시만요. Or if you're like in a crowd trying to get through people, just to say, oh, excuse me, 잠시만요. 주세요. This it means give me. And you can use this in a lot of different settings, such as if you're ordering food, 이거 주세요. Give me this. Or if you're out shopping and you want something, you can point to it and say, 이거 주세요. Can you get me this dress or something? 죄송합니다. This means sorry. And this is formal way, so you can basically use it in any situation and you'll be totally okay. Yeah. This is a formal way to say yes. Another way to say yes is 네 or but those are way more informal. 아니요. This means no. And if you want to say a really harsh no, you can say 안 돼요, which means no way. Quiz time. How do you say excuse me in Korean? 누구? This simply means who in Korean. 뭐? I really like this word. It just means what? 뭐? 뭐라고 했어요? What did you say? 뭐 at the very beginning. 언제? This means when in Korean. 언제 일어나요? Like when do you wake up? 어디? 어디 means where. So for example, 화장실 어디예요? Is where's the bathroom? 어떻게? This means how. So how did you do something? 왜? This means why. You can just say 왜요? To ask like why formally or 왜? 왜 늦었어? That's like why are you late? 어떻게 지냈어요? Here we use 어떻게, right? Which means how. And we're saying how are you? And you can usually respond by saying 괜찮아요 or 좋아요. 이름이 뭐예요? This is what is your name? 이름이 뭐예요? If somebody asked me this, I would say 저는 수련이에요. That means my name is Suryan because that's my Korean name. 어디 출신이세요? This means where are you from? Where do you come from? I could say 저는 미국에서 왔어요. I came from America. 이거 뭐예요? This means what is this? And I would say this is very nice to know, especially if you're at a restaurant and you don't know what a certain food is. You can just point at it and say 이거 뭐예요? And then the waiter will tell you what it is. 뭐라고 했어요? This means what did you say? And this is really good to know, especially for a beginner. If you are talking to a Korean and they say something really fast and you're like, wait. 뭐라고 했어요? What did you say? Hold on. Quiz time. How do you say when in Korean? 가족. This simply just means family. 친척 is relatives. We have 가족, family, 친척, relatives. 부모님, it's parents. 부모님 있어요. I have parents. 아버지, this means father in Korean. So you could say 아버지, 사랑해요. Dad, I love you. You could do the same thing for mom in Korean, mother, which is 어머니. 어머니, 사랑해요. But honestly, like in Korean, you don't really say I love you to your parents that much like that. Or in a joking way, like I just did, so yeah. 남편 is husband. Now this is definitely a time where you could say 남편 사랑해요. 아내 is wife. 아내. 할아버지 is grandfather. And you can actually use this with somebody who is your actual relative, like your grandfather. Or you could even use this with somebody who's not your grandfather, but you just like see him in the streets, he's random, you can still call him 할아버지. 할머니. This means grandmother. And the same with 할아버지, you can kind of say this with any grandma that you kind of find on the streets that you end up talking to. You can call her 할머니, and that's totally okay. 삼촌 is uncle in Korean. Okay, these next two are really important to distinguish. 고모 is an aunt on the father's side. 고모. 이모 is aunt on the mother's side. So I don't know why there's two different ones, 고모 and 이모, but that's what it is. So just remember that. Quiz time. What does 아내 mean? I know this might seem like a lot of words, and for me when I was studying Korean, I had such a hard time with vocabulary because I just like didn't know how to use the words that I was learning. But I realized, after some time that I just needed real life examples of all this vocabulary actually being used so that I could know how to use it. That's why I wish I would have known about Fluent U earlier. What Fluent U does is basically teaches you Korean through real world content. It uses K-pop, K-dramas, and like real world media such as the news and inspiring speeches, all these different sorts of things. It shows you all the examples, has flashcards and transcripts. So if you want to go check it out, I actually have a 2-week free trial in the description below. So be sure to check it out, try it for 2 weeks, and see if it helps you with your vocabulary skills. And then when you're finished, come back here and let me know how it helped you. If you're into watching Korean dramas like I am, you probably know that Korean is kind of like a hierarchy, right? This is where Korean honorifics come in. This is pretty important, especially if you're not really used to this and going into the language. So let's go through a bit of honorifics. 님. This is used to talk to somebody who is older than you in rank or position. It usually comes after professions. For example, teachers, 선생님, or presidents or CEOs, 화장님. 씨. Since 님 is kind of used for professions or titles, 씨 is used with names, so after a name. For example, you know, my Korean name is Suryeon, so if someone was like Suryeon 씨, they're talking to me in a very polite way by putting 씨 after my name. 아저씨. This is what you would call to a guy who is a bit older, probably older than 40 to late 50s. And in English, it's similar to Mr. Although make sure that you don't call a guy 아저씨 when he's not in that age range, like if he's just like in his 20s or 30s, because it'll probably offend him. The same goes for the next honorific, 아주머니. This is what you call a middle-aged woman. You can also say 아줌마. It means the same thing. But again, please do not call someone 아줌마 unless they are one. Somebody who's like 20, 30, who looks old that's actually young. Don't call them 아줌마 or 아주머니. That's offensive. Only those in the appropriate age category. 오빠. It's basically what girls use to call an older guy. Nowadays it has more of like a really tight friendship or a relationship. It usually means that you guys are super tight, or that you're like brother or sister, or that you're in a relationship. More commonly that you're in a relationship. 형. This is an honorific I never get to use because it's for younger guys to call older guys 형. It kind of means older brother, but only guys can use it. I can't, so too bad. 언니. Now this is what I can use. 언니 is for girls who are younger talking to girls who are older. So if I have a friend of mine who's older than me, I can just say, oh, 언니. Or if there are people younger than me that are girls, they can call me 언니. 누나. This is another honorific I cannot use. This is for younger guys to call an older girl. Not like that much older, right? But just like a little bit older in age. 누나. It means the girl's older than the guy, and only the guy can say it. The girl says 언니. The guy says 누나. 동생. If you are the 오빠 or 형 or the 누나, 언니 person, the younger person, the person younger than you is your 동생, younger sibling. That's what it means. 여동생 is younger sister and 남동생 is younger brother, but 동생 is just the typical way we call them. 선배. This you'll usually hear in school or in work. Because 선배 is usually somebody who is in a different class than you, like an upper class, that you're in 11th grade, they're in 12th grade. There's 선배. Or in work. So if they have a higher rank in a company than you, or if they came to the company before you, you can call them 선배. So it's just a little higher in rank, whether that's in school or in work. 후배. This is the opposite of 선배. It's the junior. It's the person who's calling the 선배, if that made sense. It's what you would call somebody younger than you in rank or something like that. Quiz time. Who do you use 동생 with? By the way, if you're liking this video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up to let me know. Let's finish off with some common Korean adjectives. Do not put adjectives off, guys. They're gonna make your sentence so much more colorful. So let's go through a few. 큰 is big. 큰 가방 is big bag. 작은, that's small. So we have 큰, 작은, small. 작은 가방, small bag. 낡은, which is old. 낡은 가방, old bag. I don't know why I'm obsessed with 가방s right now, but we're just gonna use that. 새로운 가방, new bag. 이른 is early, and 늦은 is late. 긴. It's a short word, but it means long. 긴. 짧은. This is short. 짧은. Quiz time. What does 새로운 mean? If you want to review all of the words and phrases that I went over in this video, be sure to download the free Fluent U PDF in the description below. Now, I have the perfect video for you guys next. right over here. It's all about how to order food in Korean. All the phrases and expressions you'll need, because it's a lot more intense than just pointing to something and saying 이거 주세요. Trust me on this one. There's a lot of great information in that video, lots of expressions and phrases, so I think I'll really enjoy it. I will see you guys over there.